Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Ryan Lerman on Scary Goldings.
You mentioned Larry Goldings, who you are now working with in another project.
Called Scary Goldings.
So let's jump into that and find out where we end up.
Yeah, so that Scary Goldings started. I mean, I was a fan of Larry since I was in high school. I used to go to his shows at Stanford Jazz Workshop and transcribe his solos. And then I got an email from him, I think sort of out of the blue when I was on tour, saying that he'd stumbled upon my solo music and would I ever want to write sometime. And that to me was like, oh my God, I've made it. Larry Goldings wants to write music with me. And he ended up coming over to my grandparents' house where I was living at the time. And he played on a song of mine, which is called Too Many Songs, which you can see on YouTube. And and that was the start of our sort of friendship, relationship, working relationship. Um, and then so I when we started Pockets, Larry'd kind of come in here and there. He was on this one day where a singer didn't show up, so we wrote. The way Pockets works is we split the day up into 90-minute chunks, four of them, and each one is paired with a different singer. We start to finish. We have nothing. We go in, we arrange for 90 minutes and do some takes, and we're done. And so it's very quick. And this particular day, the singer didn't show up, but Larry was there. So we said, well, let's just write like a instrumental song and we'll put it out. And the song ended up being called Larry Pockets. And it was so fun and easy because we realized like, oh, Jack and I don't have to actually do anything if Larry's there. We just play, as little as possible. And Larry's amazing. And it's good. So that was the start of like, wow, what would happen if we did a whole day of that or 2 days of that? And that became its own thing because it was Pockets-esque, but originals and instrumental. And so we called it Scary Goldings, and we've done basically an album a year for the last 4 or 5 years.
And now, also in the band with Larry, you have had a couple of bass players.
The bass chair rotates, so it's a different bass player pretty much every year, at least a different one. So
The video I saw, the guy had one name.
Mono Neon is probably who you're talking about.
Yes, Manu Neon.
Yeah. Yeah, Mono is amazing. He's just such a virtuosic and fiercely individual voice and a force to be reckoned with. So those days that we recorded with him were just like everyone I think was blown away by how amazing he was.
And the keyboard player is?
Jack Conti. Jack is my partner in Scary Pockets, and yeah, so Jack and I are in pretty much everything Pockets really.
Schofield?
All good. Yeah, Schofield is on our new record, Scary Goldings Live.
So that's what I was watching.
Yeah, and he's on the last record that we did, which was Scary Goldings 4. So those both feature Schofield.
Let's talk about improvising a little bit, since we mentioned it earlier. There's more improvisation with the Scary Goldings than other stuff you've done.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yes.
How do you approach improvising?
Well, it depends on the context. It depends on, in Scary Goldings, I don't take solos because Larry's there, and sometimes we have another guitar player that's a guest, and that's like I want to hear them solo. Yeah, I think I took a solo on one Scary Goldings song, or maybe two, um, and uh, and so the rest of the time, I'm the way that I'm improvising is just sort of like in response to whatever else is happening. And we kind of create with, they're all kind of real parts oriented songs. We try to craft these songs, excuse me, craft these songs like pop songs where we each make very narrow lanes for ourselves. And every once in a while, we can step out of those lanes in a way that's conversational with whatever else is happening. But mostly, I would say the way that we frame Scary Goldings is it's Larry's thing, it's his voice. I mean, we want him to be free and to have free reign over, whatever the song is. And then the bass and the drums are playing kind of to Larry and conversationally with Larry, but it's very parts oriented. And then Jack and I are sort of filling in whatever is left. So we try to be, for the most part, kind of small and self-contained. That's kind of our roles in that band.
I know you've played with Jack for a while, and you said the bass players are rotating in and out. When you get a new bass player in, what's the process of becoming comfortable and being able to have these talks? Or do they come in and they're able to do it simply because they're professionals?
We have a mission statement, which is simple, fun, funky. Um, and we sort of, get a group huddle going at the beginning of the day, and say, like that we're not trying to play like jazz here per se. This is like improvisational pop music, essentially. Instrumental improvisational pop music. And so, yeah, we tell everyone to sort of like think in terms of parts, think in terms of composition, not in terms of so that way, when Larry solos or when Sco improvises, even when they take it out, it's contrasted against like this solid foundation. And that's kind of what we strive for.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.